Hello and welcome to This Week on Screen. Film news is hard to find, so we find it for you. This week's top news: Kathleen Kennedy is stepping down, James Cameron has fled the United States, and we have a long-awaited trailer for Shrek 5. So to hear all about this and much more, stay tuned.
Shortly after Disney acquired Star Wars, Kathleen Kennedy joined Lucasfilm to work alongside visionary director George Lucas. And following the Disney acquisition of Star Wars, she was left in charge. Kennedy's career and impact on Star Wars has been incredibly divisive, however, with her being responsible for flops such as Solo, which was the first ever Star Wars movie to lose money, and the incredibly divisive Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. However, she was also responsible for the critically acclaimed Rogue One spin-off movie and its subsequent TV series, Andor.
News this week: Andor Season 2 has finally had a trailer released. We can finally see everyone's fan favourite character, K2SO.
Congratulations, you are being rescued.
And it shows us just how close in the timeline this is going to be to Rogue One and A New Hope. Rumours have also begun circulating that a film directed by Sean Levy and featuring Ryan Gosling in the Star Wars universe is in the works.
Hey! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Schmeb's Newsroom. Now, I've got some exciting news about The Odyssey. Christopher Nolan's latest film in the works, although it's a long way off, with an absolutely stacked cast. Now, if you want to know more about this, check out our previous video. Mr. Lieutenant Wheatley did a little bit of a segment on it, so there's more details there. But for now, I can tell you this. I'm gonna like shamelessly read it off of this. Don't judge me. So basically, according to an interview with Variety, as in Variety magazine, they're actually going to film segments of it on the Sicilian island of Favignana. That wasn't stammering, I just couldn't say any of that. Which is actually believed to be the island Homer himself envisioned when writing the source material. Now you see, I can say many things, but every week I certainly get more excited for this film.
Tom Holland is set to appear in The Odyssey and Spider-Man 4 next year, but despite the very popular IP of Spider-Man, it looks like even Marvel doesn't want to compete with The Odyssey.
Don't say it! Don't you say it! Left. Come on!
They have pushed the release back by 1 week to July 31st, 2026. So if you are indeed a Spider fan, you're going to have to wait until then for your next glimpse at Spider-Man, as Beyond the Spider-Verse is little more than a fever dream at this point.
Oh, speaking of fever dreams, DreamWorks has just given us the first look at Shrek 5. Well, we didn't see that coming this year. We got Shrek 5's trailer before GTA 6. A long-awaited addition to the Shrek franchise, and the trailer shows a greatly modernised Shrek and Donkey design, which, if you're like me, isn't that good. Yeah, it's had a divisive impact, is probably a bit of an understatement, but yeah, some people are fine with it. Me personally, it's not as bad as Ugly Sonic, but I can see why people hate it. But we have the return of Mike Myers and Eddie Murphy as both their respective roles as Donkey and Shrek. So clearly something's going right. But this will also have Zendaya as the voice of Shrek and Fiona's daughter, Felicia. So, new member that everybody knows, and all the old favourites coming straight back. Let's see if they change the models, but otherwise...
Speaking of animation, I will be here every week talking to you about Invincible 3. This week's episode featured the vocal talents of Breaking Bad star Aaron Paul, who voiced Powerplex, a character straight out of the comics who won...
This isn't about me! This is about the thousands of people murdered and the countless other lives destroyed!
This episode had an absolutely incredible emotional hook in its third act. And in the post-credit scene, we finally got a look at the war, in which Mark will fight the Invincible Army, and it's actually all looking like it's going to happen next week. So make sure you're here next week to hear me ramble at you all about that and much more.
The release of Barbie back in 2023, I believe. Jesus, that's gone quick. Yeah, but after that release, we quickly became apparent for Mattel that to keep their stock price sorely inflated and skyrocketed so that they will be worth big monies, they had to keep making films based off their respective IPs. And apparently, this next film that they have rumoured to be in the works, this is a rumour, so it can't be guaranteed, but judging by how these things go, I'd say there's a pretty high chance it will be. Their next film will be a Barney the Purple Dinosaur movie. All I'm saying is I'm weirdly excited.
In other news, the Oscars are incredibly close this year, with the frontrunner being The Brutalist. However, it is not this clear cut, as Anora is making just as much as a run for it. The wildcard this year is Bob Dylan's biopic A Complete Unknown. But despite this, the Best Picture award could very easily go to Conclave. Stay posted as this develops for more Oscar-related news.
You see, folks, I have to hold my pad for this to keep these notes up because this topic does actually hit quite close to home to me. According to news this week, cinemas in Spain, in particular, have requested funding from the government to help themselves out after the COVID epidemic because they still have not fully recovered from the, well, close down of all of their branches. And the sad news that comes with this is it's made us all wonder, are cinemas dying? For me personally, I hope they aren't, because cinemas are by far one of my favourite places in the whole world to go. Be it due to the atmosphere or the film or just the experience. I love every second of it. I absolutely love cinemas, but this is far too big for this Twis episode. So I can guarantee that down the line we'll be making a detailed report and analysis of the situation. I personally hope they aren't dying, because if a cinema was to disappear, then that would be a part of my childhood and a part of my escape from the world gone forever. So please make sure to stay subscribed, I guess, and in the future you can hopefully find out more about this sad topic.
More exciting news, as we've had a lot of teasers for the Minecraft movie recently. We've seen diamond swords, elytras, pandas, even chicken jockeys, but the most exciting teaser features Jennifer Coolidge as she accidentally hits a Minecraft villager with her car. However, despite having the iconic her, fans have divided opinions, as the Illumination Entertainment villager news voice has become just as linked to the big-headed villagers, and some fans were hoping for the deep-voiced goofballs they have come to love.
In surprising news, John Wick 4 has been greenlit for release in China, and to my surprise, it has had absolutely no cuts, so Chinese fans of the franchise can expect to enjoy John Wick 4 in all of its blood-thrilled gore.
Probably the biggest news this week, Mummy Pig is pregnant. The mother of the beloved TV children's icon, Peppa Pig, announced on Good Morning Britain that she will be having another child. But more serious news. Entertainment Union Coalition in California has launched the Keep California Rolling campaign in order to ensure that jobs will remain a priority amidst a new film and tax credit program in California. The launch of the campaign follows Governor Gavin Newsom's recent proposal to increase the state's incentive from $330 to $750 million annually in an attempt to curb film and TV production leaving California.
Thank you, Lieutenant, for that interesting last segment. Anyways, My Dead Friend Zoe, not my personal dead friend, but the name of the film, has currently released. And you know what? Rotten Tomatoes audiences scores have rated it at a whopping 94%. So all I'm saying to that is I'm definitely going to check this thing out because, well, the cast looks good. I'm not going to list everyone because I've got to make this snappy, but at the end of the day, it's sounding very popular if you ask me. So it follows a veteran who sees her understandably dead friend, and all of this takes place while she's taking care of her grandfather who has Alzheimer's. Now, I would go more in depth, but that's all you need to know, I guess.
This week is just full of exciting news because George R.R. Martin, who wrote the Game of Thrones book series, addressed rumours of a movie adaptation of the popular video game Elden Ring. He did, however, quote that I'm a few years behind with my latest book, so that limits the amount of things I can do.
This week, HBO has released some new news about their show Lanterns, in which Kyle Chandler will be playing Hal Jordan, who's on the verge of retirement. However, Jon Stewart is set to make an appearance as a trainee Lantern. We haven't seen much in regards to plot, but it is written and showrun by Chris Mundy, who worked on Ozark, and in my opinion, this has all the makings of what could potentially be a very, very good show.
Welcome back to my newsroom. And if there's one thing that I've found out this week, it's the fact that Robert Pattinson will not be the new Batman for the DCU. That doesn't mean that Matt Reeves' films aren't going to be continued, but it does mean that in the continuity of the DCU, he will not be the new Batman. Now, that post is quite befitting, depending on which way you look at this. Either it's that, or you might be really happy about it because you're a Robert Pattinson hater, but at the end of the day, there is some good to all of this. Clayface is also in development, and it's being directed by Mike Flanagan, who worked on Hill House, Bly Manor, The Fall of the House of Usher, and I believe Midnight Mass, which in particular is fantastic. And there's also a Teen Titans movie that I'm not as familiar about, but if I had to assume it follows the source material, it'll be pretty fantastic.
Hello, what's that? Oh, a new movie in one of the best cinematic universes out there. The Twisted Childhood universe, which takes iconic childhood characters from fairy tales and makes them evil, has a new movie out this week. The Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare was released. However, coming out this year, we also have Bambi the Reckoning and Pinocchio Unstrung, with a release coming in October called Pooniverse Monsters Assembled, which will have a crossover with all of them and introducing even more. This is going to be incredible. I cannot wait.
Back in new releases, we have Riff Raff, and this film follows the life, well, no, not the life, but a former criminal whose dodgy, sketchy, council estate, shabby family track him down and have some unfinished business with him. At least that's what I've put together by all of this. Now, if I had to believe this is going to be anything, judging by the mixed reviews, it's probably going to be a slightly more boring mafioso movie. So if you're expecting The Godfather, I hate to be the guy to tell you, but swallow your pride. Just turn on a classic. If you want to watch it though, yeah, well, I'll just keep listening to Riff Raff by AC/DC.
And now, in what I think is probably the most important news this week, visionary director James Cameron has fled the United States following his growing disdain of the Trump administration. In an interview with the Stuff outlet of New Zealand, he said, and I am going to be reading this off a screen as it is a quote, he said, "I think it's horrific. I think it's horrifying. I see it as a turn away from everything decent. America doesn't stand for anything if it doesn't stand what it has historically stood for. It becomes a hollow idea, and I think they're hollowing it out as fast as they can for their own benefit." These are very strong words from James Cameron, and it seems as though he is just the first in what could be a long line of visionary directors and people from this industry leaving the United States because of their own political beliefs.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the part of the show where I recommend you something to watch. Now, you see, what I've been watching this week is a series of cheesy rom-coms, because I'm a sucker for romance, I'm a sucker for cheese, and I'm a sucker for an easy watch, and I'm a sucker for things I don't have. A relationship. Nice. Self-burn. Anyway, my film of recommendation this week is America's Sweethearts. Now, if you've ever watched it before, it follows Julia Roberts, John Cusack, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Billy Crystal, Christopher Walken, and Hank Azaria. Now, the film is about two people who are movie stars, yet they only realise their careers can thrive if they're together, because they don't work without each other, basically. Sounds simple, but no. The husband, because they're going through a divorce, falls in love with the girl's sister, that being Julia Roberts. Now do you see where the plot hole comes in? So, there isn't a particular song from it I want to recommend, but I just want you to know this film was directed by Billy Crystal, who also stars as one of the lead roles, and if you're familiar with Mike Wazowski, you should know who he is. But at the end of the day, if you like something cheesy, you like something lovey, and you certainly like something dovey, then give it a try, because I enjoyed it.
So this week I watched a film called Timer, where basically a device is inserted in the dominant wrist and a countdown starts until when you meet your soulmate. It has raised a lot of questions and it was a very impactful story, and I was enthralled till the end. I think it's definitely worth a watch, and it will definitely leave you sat there questioning everything yourself. There was a song from the movie though called Piano Song by Maiko, which added a calmness and romantic element to the introduction of the movie. Contradicts the ending a bit slightly. It's brilliant, but it really helped the movie just be that more impactful. Definitely worth a watch.
With Aaron Paul as Powerplex, it has been an absolutely amazing episode. I loved it and I desperately want more. So do other Invincible fans, as next week we are likely getting the Make sure you stay tuned for that and much more. And that is all we have for you this week. So as always, stay classy, film fanatics.